moja tulifanya vitu bwana. Umoja ndo msichana alitema ile taxin kunyonya dick.
Taxin ni nini sasa?
Taxin. Huyo dem taxin unaona jaba ama nini? Sasa hiyo taxin mtu anaweza weka hapo for so long. Ikae tu mawe juu sijui utamgani na kwanga. Sasa huyo dem alinitamia taxin. Anyonye kitu. Akaamua. She sacrificed.
Kama mbaya.
Oh lordy. Pon ya kitchen.
Hey.
Oh lordy.
Hey.
What? On the kitchen?
Yeah, pon ya kitchen.
On the kitchen nini?
On the kitchen, like we were having a house party and this was it was a 2-bedroom house. Moja ni ofisi, moja huko, and then this guy, I don't know where Jabali used to get those guys. That guy sija alikuwa ametoka Kayole ama Uruma nini. Huyo msichana bana. Hakututwi.
Yeah. We are starting.
We are rolling.
Lordy.
Let you keep.
Hello there, people of the internet. My name is Odur Jagero, and this is Dialogues with Jagero. We are having a break. To talk with my two friends. You know, the thing, people of the internet, is that these people are my very close friends, yet we are so different. Their world is not my world.
Pale kwa FIFA tu ndo natunyanyasa sana. Let me play another one. Ilikuwa warm up. Tunaanza. Tunatufanyanga sana.
Nilikuwa red.
The remix thing is not good.
Kini kata pa niliwacha.
Akututi. Men get better.
This is Agak, or Kwadjala as you know him on Facebook, and this is Rick's Poet, the gentleman that danced naked.
Not naked.
To 5 million people. Everybody was saying that you are naked. Okay. And my friends were saying, what's wrong with your friend, bruh? What's wrong with your friend? Tell him not to remove underwears and things like that.
But what's Rick saying? Were you naked?
No, he claims that he was in some underwear.
I'm not claiming. It's just right there for you.
Yeah, you can check the video. He had his
man, how was the event underneath?
Nothing underneath.
Bonkers. Absolute bonkers.
Why did you decide to come up with that event, though, Rix?
I love sex, and I sort of feel like, as somebody who has grown up having sex for the last 16 years of my life, there was nowhere in public where I've had to go and listen to sex stories or be taught about sex without judgment. And of course, because I work around sexual and reproductive health and rights a lot, I see how we have so much shame as a culture, as a society, in matters sex conversations, in matters our bodies, and yet we are doing this thing. So it's kind of like we have a scandalous relationship with sex, but then on the surface level we are pretending that this thing is very far away from us. And as an artist, my work is to just disrupt that thought system and bring it to the fore.
And then you were with Kwadjala.
I was the great, the man, the legend, the myth.
My wife watched that show.
Yes.
And she called me that night. It's around 11 at night. And said that I will never forget what your friend talked about.
It was scandalous.
That event was...
Guys, the video is going to be out. We are still figuring out how to edit it and probably monetize it. We need to monetize the video. Yes. You know? So that people can pay to Kulie. Agak, we are going to be talking about casual sex.
Yeah.
Something that has been very far away from me, but a lot of people I hear do it a lot in this city.
Yeah.
You know, the casual sex, casual hookups. I was reading a story on the Atlantic, and they were talking about a certain Ivy League university, where they masturbate people in class.
Huh? What? Who?
The girls.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they just slip their hands inside your trouser and They just do it.
It's of course consensual. Like with consent. Like
do women need consent from men?
That's university.
Women don't need consent from men.
Need consent. Everybody needs consent.
Where's that place?
Ivy League University.
But what Rex is saying really makes much sense, because people think if you approach a man with a vagina, he's just ready to dive in. Like, men do not need to be consulted or to be asked to engage. Most women think that men are just ever ready to engage. And I think that's a wrong assumption.
Yeah.
That's a wrong assumption. Because there could be that undue influence of, yes, I shouldn't be engaging in sex, but because I've gotten the sight of the coochie, now I want to take a hit. But do I really want this?
Yeah. I mean, I remember some years back, I was dating this person, and nakumbuka nilikuwa natoka bafu, and then she went down on me. Yeah. To suck my dick. But then, honestly...
he never understood the part of going down.
That's why I punched you.
I did! Kwani wewe unafikiria wewe mimi ni pumbafu?
We don't know what to assume.
But then, I wasn't in the mood to have sex. I wasn't in the mood of sexual pleasure in that moment. And I communicated that. Then she got offended, and she looked very confused, because in her conditioning, it's a favor already that she wants it and she's giving it to me, in her conditioning, right? That, if you're taking this to a man, he's gonna love it so much and he's gonna take it anytime. But I could see how, she was somebody who we could talk, and I explained this and that. Like, I'm not always in the mood for sex, and sometimes I have those moments, right? And it was the first time in her life to see that it's not like we are not always horny people, man.
Yeah. Or maybe you could be horny for someone else.
Yeah, that's also a possibility. You're a human being. I agree, right? So yeah, consent is important for everybody, not just when men want sex from women, even the other way.
Casual sex is sex that involves two people who have no desire or intention
to be with each other.
Two people or more.
Lordy.
I'm just telling you.
Kwani which dictionary is this?
Tuachana na hii mambo. Tunakwambia kwa ground.
Kwa ground mambo ni tofauti.
Sex, according to Rick, casual sex is sex that involves two or more people who have no desire or intention of ever committing to any type of exclusive relationship with each other, correct?
Correct.
Eliminates many stressful factors that may accompany a committed relationship, such as jealousy, mind games, verbal and or physical abuse, marriage, accountability of daily actions or whereabouts. Lack of quality or frequency in sexual activity, boredom, and many more. Rix and Agag, Kwajdal, I am a Christian.
Yeah.
Watch, let me qualify that statement. My first sexual intercourse was in marriage.
All right.
Yo kitu nilionja.
Mara ya kwanza.
Hiyo ni kuionja tu ama kuiona pia. Kuna ile
ni muhimu sana.
Yes. Not every time you see that thing, you've had it, but was it the first one you saw?
Why are you looking at me?
There are instances where you're like, I almost had this, but I didn't. Did you have such instances before you finally plunged into the waters? Did you have such moments?
Are you the one interviewing?
No.
It's a conversation.
This is a conversation.
I'm having a dialogue with you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like
At what point would you see a vagina and you don't sleep with them?
There are so many
fingering them?
There are so many ways you could see vaginas without fucking them.
Okay, in short, it didn't happen. That's what you're saying.
Amen. Ni mambo yenu. Every time I bring you into this thing, I feel like
It's safe to say that the first time you saw a vagina, you had one.
Yeah, and it was your wife.
Yes.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
So, but then let me go back to. There is only one time I got an erection in the village. There's this lady in the village, man. This girl in the village she had hips, bro. And I think I was just, bolting with force into puberty. And I was just having these crazy erections. And there is this girl in the village that was, her name was Atieno. Man, I never asked. I never said anything. Ilienda tu hivyo.
But you wanted.
I think so.
Of course you did.
I did. And then
you can't mistake that feeling.
And then shortly after that, it was a bit chaotic. There were boys who were pinning down girls in bushes and things like that. And I wasn't doing that. I think this cowardly nature of mine started long then, So and then in around 2000, I get born again. You see, and I get born again into this very strict church called Voice of Salvation and Healing Church. You know it?
I know Voice.
Hakuna kucheza. Hata kinyasa hakuna kuvaa. Do you know that?
You told me that.
You don't even walk with a stick.
It's just insane. Which
you don't
Jesus?
walk with a stick.
You can't. There is a pastor who got me in the market with two sins at the same time. I wasn't
in shorts. You were in shorts and you had one.
I was having a stick.
A stick on your hand.
Yes.
That's supposed to be such a big sin.
That's double, man.
Yeah. The fuck.
So, so I get born again. Majini kucheka. I get born again. And I am in church full time.
Mm-hmm. Full time?
Yeah. I'm in church full time. We go for prayer and fasting. We go for whatever. Think about anything. Kiche, what?
How old are you? What are you? 20?
No. What do you mean 20? I've just done I'm just in Form 1.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah. And then I go to Form 1 and there is ICU. No.
CU. Christian Union.
Yes.
I'm YCS.
That's it.
Yes.
The Catholics had the YCS.
And we had a preacher that was preaching a Armageddon and fire there called Tom Odero. He used to read those big books of Armageddon.
Armageddon.
Salvation by fire.
No, it was
And he would preach. And then the heavens would come down. Man, and you couldn't do anything. Like, they couldn't think about women. Yeah. So my life was just, you'd have these wet dreams. Yeah. You will have erections in the morning, but you would not do crazy things. Then, of course, I am finished with high school and then I come to Nairobi. Now, I come to Nairobi. Nairobi becomes a very strange world. I am at Nairobi Aviation without any money, without school fees. So I was telling Mufasa the other day that there is this girl. We were talking with Mufasa about the idea of dating without money and how difficult it is in this city. And so I was telling Mufasa that I had a lot of feelings. My feelings were so much in Nairobi when I came for college because now girls were there. Yeah. Those beautiful girls in colleges, and there were men. Yeah. I remember there is a friend of mine called, X, who had his sister in Dubai, and the sister would send him money, and you can imagine, and he had his house in Kawangware. His own house, bro, with his own stove, with his own kitchen, with his everything, So a day I went there and found there 3 girls.
Wow,
wamekaa tu. And me, I love this girl called Christine. Christine had nice flowing hair. To her, she never put on anything apart from just her hair, and it was amazing to look at. And Christine sort of liked me. But he also felt like I didn't know what I want. I knew what I want. I didn't have the money. I couldn't take her out for chips. I couldn't take her out for anything. Nilikuwa tu hapo. Sasa unajua hata hiyo maisha ya... And then I came to All Saints Cathedral Church. And Reverend Tom Utieno is there. And it is another market.
Revelation chapter.
The 7 heads.
The snake.
The snake.
Yeah,
the dragon. Snake.
Hey. Yeah,
my life is like that. It's
this is where your sensationality came from. These preachings and these people used to do things. Hey.
So that's how it happens. And then I get into marriage and pretty virgin. And so a lot of things, but I read a lot. And
so you hadn't even ever masturbated?
I did masturbate.
You masturbated?
Yes.
How old were you when you got married?
I was in my 30s. I was 30 what?
34.
If my child is 8 years old now, I think 31, 32.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a long way to get into a virginity.
See what you're saying. That is to tell you that, and then I feel like once you have been on that straight kind of line, and now with age I am 40, it's very difficult to start, the perimendes of this world. But then I realized that in this city, there's a lot of hookup sex working going around, and I know that you guys know about this. I'm not very older than you by far. Yes, maybe 6 years or whatever. At presidential term, not a lot. Rix, where does this hookup culture? Is it that relationship is so difficult? People are just saying that this thing, at least in your estimation, what is going on? Because you have no problem with hookup.
I mean, even yesterday, I was somewhere very nice. I got a Muslim lady, and it was good. I loved the work of my hands.
But Muslim ladies are supposed to be virgins until they
on paper. On paper. It is halal. On paper. It's going on.
It's halal. Sex is halal.
On paper, hii kitu inakulika tu.
What is going on with the town, and why would this kind of sex easier than the other one?
I would say that first of all, the way we were raised up, post-colonial especially, when Christianity got here, people are having sex in our African indigenous homes. People are having sex before even they got married, as teenagers even. Uko kwa gwengi, hizi vitu zilikuwa, and it has not stopped actually. It didn't stop, right?
It didn't stop.
So there was this imagination that was created that in the city people are freer, but then coupled with other realities in that as a person living in the city, you may not want to have a relationship where you are, and you may not even have the resources to keep a relationship, as we and Mufasa were discussing.
Yes.
All right, and this is for everybody involved, not just the man. Yeah, and yet you have sexual urges. Yeah, and you are in some connections that don't necessarily equate to sex work. Yeah, you're not paying.
You're not paying. Yes.
Like as directly as we would say,
you might still be spending even more.
You are spending, but it's not payment.
You might even be spending more, but it is not a paid for coochie.
It's not a transaction.
Yes, not a
kind
direct
of thing.
transaction, yes.
Or a transaction of that nature.
Yes.
As of sex work. All right. So you have agreements sometimes, either with one person or more people, depending on who you are, where you are, what you want. And you just cater to those sexual needs without relationship commitments. And life just goes on. And for some people, it's a phase. For some people, it's out of curiosity. For some people, that's just the way they're living their lives.
For some people, it's a character.
Some people, I don't know. Yeah.
You never see them with a girlfriend like, yo, I'm having this girlfriend, but like they're fucking every other weekend.
Yeah,
like,
kama ule mzee
like
wako pale nyumbani, the guy you told me loves women, huyo jamaa tuliona amepigwa.
Alikuwa amesalimia kwa gari. Yes.
Mgani huyo?
Ule ulikuwa unasema ule alifura macho ulisalimia kwa gari. Huyo jamaa wako hapo. Unakumbuka
Yes. Like
that mechanic. That mechanic, you know, but you were saying he's getting sex na nini. So there are people who just like the model of casual sex.
Non-committal casual.
Yes, because casual sex is also less involving. I also believe it's also more direct. There is no meandering around stuff. Like you just go to someone, you tell them that, hey, I like what I see. Could we do this and this and this? And it's also easier. It's also getting very, very easier because of the narratives that we have on the socials. These days, you hear if someone is getting into a relationship, there are more risk factors to look into, right? There are more stereotypes around relationships that it takes much more, all right, of belief and investment to actually believe in one. Everybody's just going this other way. Like, if I can get sex on a Wednesday, whenever I need it, if I can get sex on the weekend, why do I have to deal with the other side of keeping a relationship? Besides, being on the casual edge means you can get different kind of meat all the damn time without someone crying in the background like, yo, Rick stole. Like, this ninja can just fuck anyone anyhow, because as much as we know him, he's not dating now. But does that mean he's starved? He's not. So that's an arrangement that works well for most people, especially in the busy Nairobi city.
My biggest problem is because, you know, the difficult thing about this casual sex that I usually maybe how does it work? Because somebody has to know you, that you are somebody who likes this kind of things. Because there is a time, I think 3 years ago, I was in my sister's house in Norway. And then a lady sends me a text on Facebook that, Takero, I like you so much. And of course, I was very much away from my wife. And we chatted. And this lady told me that your wife doesn't need to know. Your relationship with your wife, I'm not coming to disrupt it. I just want us to have this thing on the side.
I just have a piece of you, my ninja.
You know, it spooked me, bro. You know, it really spooked me. And then she kept talking and figuring out, and she knew that I was away there. I think probably that's why she knew that this is the time to attack. You know? And it went on and 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 went on. It was exciting. It was very, very exciting. You know? But then I did not follow through with it. Because I played with the logistics in my head, and I couldn't get the logistics. The logistics don't work for me. You know, where are we going to have this sex? In whose house? Where? I mean, where? It's...
Wewe hukutaka tu. Kama unataka Jagero.
I think it's also got a lot to do with the person. Because it's not just about the opportunities availing themselves.
So anyway, I got that hit. And I would get another hit later, you know. And this one was a bit cowardly than the other one, you know. But you could feel that it is very difficult. If I were to hit on a woman right now, I don't know how it will work, you know. So Rix, how does somebody look at Rix and know that Rix would love a one night stand? Because I think that's where it starts. Somebody has to talk.
Yeah, and I mean the art of it's an art. It's just an art. You start by the same way this lady reached out to you. It was artistic, you know. In whatever way it got your attention, and then you look at this person and you're like, is this somebody you'd want to fuck? If yes, you continue playing along, and whatever you talk about and you both agree, we both want this, then you go ahead and plan. It's just really that simple. So you are not attaching any attachment to that conversation about, oh, this person has to be my girlfriend, or after we fuck we have to be dating, or this has to be the only pussy I'm fucking, or the other person also needs to know, like, you're a free agent. It's not like
you're not coming on loan.
Hey, man. You know, so even for them, like, it's not like after this now you're going to keep asking them, so is another man fucking you or whatever? No, you just move along with it. So it's just an art. The thing is, I know and I understand where you're coming from. We are very different people as human beings, and the way I approach sex, the way you approach sex, the way Agak approaches sex also, it's not the same for the three of us. And all the other men in this room, it's not the same.
Parties in this room. The man with one wife.
Aswani ametosheka tu na bibi yake moja, anampeleka South Africa, anamfanyia vitu nzuri.
Yeah, and you see somebody like me, for example, when I'm in a relationship, I'm in the relationship. I'm only sleeping with one person. You know, at that time, I am not flirting with other people. I'm not sleeping with other people.
Is that possible?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you mean? Aren't you doing it?
No, but you see, I'm not doing it. I'm not on both. I'm not having my both feet on both. I'm not having either feet in you know. I'm not having this feet in here.
You know, the moment you are committed to a relationship, then the logistics begin to play.
Yeah.
All right. You begin to weigh the risk benefit. You know, you try and balance. But again, why? So even for me, mostly when I'm in a relationship, a stable relationship, it's easier for me to fuck one person for the longest time. Just be with them for the longest time. It's safer that way. You can have better sex because you're not worried about protections and stuff. You know, there is that illusion that you are safe because you're fucking with one person. And you also believe that they are fucking with you just alone. Now you're getting quality sex, you know. And this can sustain you. You can keep this relationship. But the moment this relationship is shaken, and you are standing there and you haven't found, you know, because it takes, we are not only looking for sex in our partners. So when you're looking for someone to stay with for the longest time, you're looking for someone to date, then the factors change. You're no longer looking for just the us, the coochie, you are looking for the conversations. You are looking for how can this person, you know, how are we rhyming, you know. But when you just want sex, when you're not dating, you just want sex, nothing else comes to play.
How the women that have approached you, Agak, what do they say?
Can I read your text from one?
Yeah, sure. He has a text.
Yeah,
he has text.
Hii inasema hi, najisikia kukukatia, naweza join line. Nikamjibu wewe umehakiwa na shuku, but it'd be nice if this came from you. And then she says, it is me in flesh and blood. Unasemaje? So
twende kazi.
That's just the beginning, you know. That's how
and that
they
looks
begin.
like it's a very recent text message. This
is the lady that I was telling you that was very beautiful, but when we got in the house, she didn't want to get her clothes off with the lights on, you know. But she eventually did, and I was wondering why she felt like I didn't deserve to see that body because she was good. Ukiniona hapa nasema I hope ni kama umehakewa I'm like, damn, is this her really? Yeah, you know. So,
but how does somebody know that I can hack these? You know, that's the thing. How does I can try this guy? Ama you just keep trying. Ama you look at somebody for some time and then you decide, okay, let me try. If they say no, I don't do those kind of things, and then I move along.
I think we sprinkle bits of our personal lives everywhere.
Oh.
Yes. If I track you on Facebook, I look at your posts, I'm like, this person, maybe I might not get what
footprints.
Yes, maybe I might not get what I'm looking for, but I know he will be receptive of this information because they are also taking a risk.
Yeah, it is.
Don't think it's easier for a girl to slide in your DM and say, I'd like to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're also standing at a place where, and ladies don't take rejection very lightly.
They're not used to that as much as we are.
Yes, yeah, it's easy. We are used to getting rejected. But if a lady comes to you and you reject, you know, it eats into them. So for them, it takes the muscle, it takes the risk that will he do this? So I think a lady, huyo mtu atakufuata online kama burkenge. Atakustudy aone huyu jamaa anafanyanga nini na nini na nini. And if you are someone who talks a lot about sex, like I've found out that seasons where I'm writing a lot of stories on Facebook is like I'm always having women like on the inbox, asking, making jokes on the comments, just like some pussy hang somewhere. Like if you can reach out for this, you can get it.
You can get it.
Yes. So, which is why I'm saying they study you, wanakusoma, wanaangalia ujamaa, hata kikataa. It can't be that bad. Yes, haitakuwa mwadhara. But some want. Kuna mwingine ataona tu atake nini ashindwe anyamaze.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. The same way mimi pia nitaangalia umsana niseme manzi the same thing you were saying with Mofasa, so like I really need this woman, but right now can I hit this thing? Do I have the capacity to hit this? And then you say, damn it. Oh yeah. Niaje. Kuna venye. Sawa, kuja home. You know. And then things happen. If she's comfortable with that arrangement, anakuja home. The best thing that happens is that when there's mutual interest, she's interested in you and you're interested in her, or you're interested in her, you go fast and you find that she's just been waiting for this. Then if there's that mutual interest, then other factors can easily play out. Because if a woman is really interested in getting the dick, then she won't get into much of the politics of meet me at what, she can come straight home and get the dick and go home. And I've met a lot of women for the first time in my house. Like we never met somewhere. We didn't even have coffee outside. We didn't even do at an event. We've just been seeing each other on Facebook. And then someone made the move and said, okay, we are having this. And then they're like, oh, can you come home? Yeah. Well, oh, where? This place. Yeah. Anadropiwa na Uber, unapiki yeye, mnakuja, mnafanya hii kitu. I've had people who stay for 2 hours. Oh, after a year ameenda. Yeah. I'm having this. Kuna msana amekuja kuanga ananiambia you have 1 hour
kufanya hizi
that lady, you have 1 hour kufanya hizi vitu zako alafu mimi naenda. I'm like, yo, chill. Yeah. You chill from one place, you have to do this.
I had a lady reach out to me some 2 years ago on Twitter,
which is very professional.
It is also very scandalous. Professional kwa macho. Huko ndani kuna mambo. It goes down in the DMs. Man.
It goes down in the DMs.
DM too.
DM. Okay, DM.
So she told me that she had a guy she was dating and they broke up. And that guy used to give her the orgasms of her life. And she's been having sex with other men and it's not been happening, man.
Yeah.
You know, the orgasms haven't been coming. Pun intended. You know. So she was like, Rix, man, you know, you write about sex a lot. I'm just curious, man. Like, I want to know if it's my body or it's those guys that are a problem. You know, like, I just want to feel, man. You know, like, it's been long since I came. And mazule dem alikuwa kitu, alikuwa ameiva. Guy. Niliangalia tu profile picture hivi, nikaenda Instagram kuangalia pictures zingine for you survey.
Making a file.
Yeah, you gotta check sometimes, man, you know? Yeah, and
I do that a lot.
You have to.
You have to
background check kidogo.
You have to know what you're
then I
getting,
said
man.
yes. And then we agreed, and she came to my house. That was the first time I was meeting her. We didn't meet at a cafe. And it was some really good sex. So then she kept coming back, you know. And then he called too, and next week uko home, Tuesday, sangapi, halali.
I like such.
2 hours venye jamaa anasema.
I like such.
Akimaliza story. Me napika tu chai because I mean I'm a caring person, and you know we talk and we still talk. We talk about stuff and talk what's going on in life. I'm working on this project. She's doing this and that, and then we have sex, and then after talking we go another round, and then it's 3 p.m.
It's a wrap.
She goes back to the world.
She goes back to the world.
And it's beautiful.
You see the problem that I don't know whether I call it a problem. The issue with it is that, you know, when you're in a relationship, it's there are other things around this more than sex.
Yes. Many.
There is the conversation. There is the what. You can talk about that thing that you were supposed to talk about. Are we going to nothing underneath?
Yeah.
You know, you have conversations.
Yes.
But then you know.
Sema.
Oh my God. If you go gag,
I'm listening to you. I know where you are driving to.
Kese kwayo. You've looked after animals.
Yes.
Eh?
Yes.
Eh?
Yeah.
And the bull just comes, smells, and anaweka mapua, and then just jumps.
Yes.
And goes back to eating grass.
Yeah.
Like nothing happened.
Like nothing happened.
Humans shouldn't be like that.
Who says?
But who says even if she came only for sex, that's the only thing that's got to happen? You find people who came for sex, but
you also, you know, so when
there are conversations.
the logistics. Yeah, I can't imagine the logistics. I can't imagine the logistics because when a woman comes, you know, you shit.
It's so simple, Jagero. It's really so simple.
What's the problem with
you she comes, sit down, and unamurukia kama
muruki. Hauruki hivyo. Yes, mnyama tafadhali.
Jagero, the process of sex, like sex is very spontaneous. It's not like ameingia kwa mlango mkuru. If it starts like that, then that's how spontaneous.
So we had this conversation.
Nilikuwa na dem fulani alikuwa anafikanga amefungua tu mlango. Manzi huyo msichana kama nilikuwa nampatianga tuna dick hapo kwa mlango. Umeingia tunaanzia na hiyo kwanza.
Hapo.
It was like, and then she'd been in the matatu and just texting me how she's gotten wet and nini. Hajafika lakini umeiva
vibaya.
Anaingia tu hivi kwa mlango.
Tuende kazi.
All right? If it happens, that's how spontaneous, which can even happen with the woman that you are dating, you are in a relationship with. Kwanza msichana mwenye uko naye kwa relationship ndo namkutanga tu hapo kwa mlango. Because there's no need to. It's easier, man. You've been doing this thing. It's not the stranger who's just come in. Sometimes
the awkwardness is not there.
Sometimes these people come and then they surprise you with their beliefs about sex and initiating it and everything. Like sasa huyo msichana venye alikuwa amekuja, and then she just sat and told me I'm here for an hour. you can do what you want with me for that 1 hour, you know. Of course, you have given yourself, but you know, I expect a much give and take. You know, a much more. I expect you to be involved in this initiation. You are not the person I was chatting with. The person who's been telling me these beautiful things is not the ninja. Is not the girl I have. The girl I had in my mind is not you. This is not the girl I expected would. The girl I expected would come and sit down and tell me, I've got 1 hour to do these things. I expect someone who initiates something, someone who is like, yo, you know, different. So sometimes these people you don't know, they come with a different vibe. Of course, you will end up fucking, but venye wameingia, unaona, you know. Someone once asked me that, okay, you want me to stay until the day breaks, but what happens if the sex is whack?
Shit. Yeah.
I'm like, should we be thinking about post-coital evaluations or doing the thing? You know, do the thing. Yeah. Let's do the thing. We rate later. If you want to rate it, let's rate it later. But if you come home, you've been talking about all these things, wonderful things you want to do, and then you come and sit down and sir, if it doesn't go as we plan, what happens? I don't like that. Just get in. Let's get in the business of doing it, because sex surprises you sometimes. Sometimes you fuck someone, you're like, what was that? Yes, but sometimes you also have bad days. Like, I didn't like that.
Yeah, it's part of the game. It's like any other game. Some days you have a good game, some days
the gero anatupa FIFA. Anatupa FIFA huko.
Tija siku hizi situpangi.
Umeokoka.
Siku hizi unamaliza game na red card 3.
How do you finish sex with red card 3? What is the scenario? Kumaliza
sengine tu inakwanga tu sasa unafurahisha huyo mwenzako, lakini wewe hauko hapo.
You've been turned off by something. The body count. And people want rematch.
Yeah.
Because I feel like once you've known somebody, you save their numbers.
Yeah.
And you just dump the numbers because it was one time you delete the number. What happens with the number? Somebody wants a body count, because somebody can come for a 1-night stand or whatever, or a 2-hour stand or a 2-hour sit down, and then they start developing feelings. Okay. And you thought that this is just the one thing, the sex wasn't great, but then now she's bothering you. She wants to come back. She wants to be your boyfriend, because I believe some people might just want to trap you with the one night stand. Yes, and then they want to, wanataka kupiga kambi hapo.
Jagero, hiyo kitu ni rahisi for me. The way I look at it, maybe it's always been, when we go back to mutual interest, man, if I have that thing and we've had a good sex, maybe we're just like, let's just get this done with just once, but it is still good. And the consensus is, she feels we should have this again. And from my end, I feel like, why not? I'm going to hit it again. I'm going to hit it again and hit it again until we feel like, okay, this is now is going, the direction it's heading is not where we thought it would. So let's stop it here. But for mostly it's, I think I let spontaneity dictate the directions of most of my sexual engagements. There are people that you fuck with once and they are gone. And they say, okay, this is how we wanted it, this is gone. But there are people you fuck twice, thrice. All right? I
feel like they will always be there. All of that body count will still be at the back of your mind. Thinking about who is that rapper that talks about like so many women? Is it Alicia? Or what?
No, the DMX.
Yeah.
What the bitches want from money, guys.
And he's saying that they have come back. Is he not saying that? Some have come back to bother him.
I had an incident like that early 2022. This 40-year-old gorgeous woman she reached out and she was like,
you see how Rex is saying she reached out? Yes. Like she wanted graphics design.
Shida yako wewe unafanya biashara sana. Ukisikia kitu unaona tu ni biashara. Anyway,
she reached out.
We started talking, if that would sound better. And we agreed that if we like this thing, the first time we do it, we can have repeat sessions. So, I mean, she would come home, we'd talk, sometimes even work, and then have sex and everything. But then I started facing a challenge. She's left my house on Sunday evening. She wants to talk to me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, They're
like, this is not what I signed up for.
And I'm not available emotionally for that. Yeah. If we had agreed that I'd be emotionally available, that if you text me, I'm texting back. If you text me, I'm texting back. We could have, tunge agree. But we didn't have that conversation. So in her head, we are still sort of continuing with conversation after sex, which is I'm like sisemi ni kitu mbaya, But then ikifika mahali yenye it's expected of me
like she's entitled of your time
somewhat,
yeah,
then I start being uncomfortable because it's demanding of an energy that I was not ready to expend. You see, so yes, there are sometimes even I myself has caught feelings too. It's not just women who catch feelings. Even I have caught feelings too out of something that began casually, and many times it's really, you just have to be kind with yourself and with people somewhat, because we are human beings, man. And sometimes you start fucking somebody and you start liking other things about them outside the sex. It happens. You know what I mean? And so that part we still are struggling to maneuver, because how it started was not how you both planned it. And some people go ahead to actually date after they started having casual sex. And sometimes they go and have really brilliant relationships. So there's no rules per se to this shit, man. I think the illusion we've always lived with was that Christian story that you grow up, you don't have sex before marriage, then you marry, then you start having sex in marriage, and still nobody has ever talked about sex in between here. Then you get kids, and that becomes the only, even sex within marriage for most parts, it's missionary, it's very particular, it's the man initiating, it's there
are people dying in their bedrooms. Some people die in their bedrooms with who are doing some crazy shit.
I'm like, those are happy days anyway. So I'm like, these lines that we've been socialized to think of as very hard line, like you can't cross over the other side. Many times they're just illusions.
They say it's good for your mental health.
What exactly? The sex or the lines?
The lines.
Nah, it's for control.
Jagero, when you're talking about the lines,
can you take care of your mic?
My mic is doing fine. Stan is alright. What the fuck are you making noise about? This always has to talk to me about the mic.
Piga, yeah.
The next time you talk to me about the mic, you'll come and sit here and use the damn mic. Back to the point I was talking about.
Hey, man.
These lines that you talk about, you must really think about them in relation to sex. Realize that the sexual revolution didn't happen until around 1960s. And before that, every group, like religious groups, viewed sex as some sort of a negative energy that needed to be tamed. All right? So you would want to think about the lines that are drawn to tame something, to be hidden, Those are not the lines that you want to work with when you actually now want to explore this thing and experience it. Those lines cannot guide you. So most of the lines that we have, the religious lines, the cultural lines around sex, really do not serve the person who is now seeking to explore sex. Yeah.
Or even anything for that matter.
Yeah.
Because what we have to agree is that every relationship has very different dynamics. Every relationship has very different dynamics. The way you would run your relationship with your wife is not the same way I'd run mine with my girlfriend, and not the same anywhere in the world. So, and that's why we are struggling, because it's kind of like all of us are looking up to these lines as the guidelines to how we want to work, to run our own individual relationships. And human nature does not work like that. We are very diverse things. You know what I mean? Even our friendship, the dynamics of our friendship, the way we are three of us, sometimes the way you know each other is not the same way as the way I know you. And the way it keeps circulating.
Yeah, you and Kaka a pretty quiet relationship. No matusi.
Yeah, you see.
Because we're mjinga. Rick's comes off as it's in spite of all these things that people heap on Rick's, but Rick's come off as a gentle lamb, you know, as a lamb, a very gentle human, caring and stuff. Jagero is caring, but he doesn't come off as a caring.
Yeah, he's mchokozi sana. Yeah, but he's a caring motherfucker.
He's a caring ninja.
But
such a Sasa, the way I will relate with him, mimi I relate akiniletea mimi namletea.
That's not as squeezy pia nimeanza kumletea.
Squeezy pia Rex anakuletea.
Na mwogopa squeezy sasa.
And for Rick is just adapting. That's not him. Rick is a cool ninja. Rick is cool.
He's adapting. That's a very nice thing to say. He's adapting.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Relationship dynamics are very
Maybe
different.
that's trauma reaction.
You just never know. So that's what we are saying. These lines, you have to be very conscious of them. And we're also saying, in those relationship dynamics, there will be lines for sure. But you want to co-create these lines with your partner. You don't want to come with preconceived lines from where your education, your tomodero, your voice. You don't want to come to the end is nine. You don't want to come with
the end is nine.
So much chaos, man. It's just like
in the morning I talked with a lady. You had that conversation because you were seated there, Agag. She was talking about, the lady was talking about something very, very serious. She said, she came here on my podcast and said that she believes that the reason for a lot of divorce is because of the lines you're talking about, and because of men, monogamy is making life very hard for men, and that's why men are being promiscuous, are going and keeping other women outside marriage, and if they can't keep them, then they will be promiscuous about it. Keeping means that they will marry them, but the first wife will not know about it. Like hakuna watoto wawili
mwingine town mwingine ushago
lakini bibi ajui.
Even this one in town does not know about the other one. And even when the other one is claiming that you have another wife somewhere, you have to show me why. She doesn't know that she's actually the second. The other one is the first. You know, the kind of chaos that's around that. Do you guys believe in polygamy? Do you believe in polygamy?
Polygamy?
Yeah.
Mimi, I believe that I can only speak for men, so I can say that men love a lot of women. I believe men adjust to stay with one woman, but that's not the design. Yeah.
You qualify that statement. Rix is disagreeing.
Let me qualify this statement this way. First, I look at it this way. Men, sexually, men are first animals. Let me just say, we are first animals before we are anything else. So, and if you look at how other animals behave, you could be having one bull in the home and it takes care of all the females. Same to a cock. One cock fucks all the chicken in the boma, you know. So by design, I believe that a man should be having more than one woman. But because you will always have the urge. I can speak for myself. Naweza ona msichana hapa niko na demu lakini nimeona udemu. Mimi nataka. Hiyo kutaka ya kwanza. Azma yako iko hapo. Unataka. Hiyo kutaka. Kufuatilia is a different thing. All right? There people will go the next step. But there's always a part of a man in their heart. There's always open for another woman. So by design, I believe a man can have so many women. But by training or just changing values, you say behavior change.
Yeah.
Behavior change, you know? And everything is beating upon your head. You're supposed to have one. You're supposed to have one. And the economy is biting on your ass. You can only maintain one relationship. So everything, in spite of everything else, drawing you from a polygamous arrangement, it is in your design. Other things might not play along, but a man is meant for more than one woman.
Riggs is just listening.
To listen to the man. He has the right.
A man is meant for one woman. Yeah.
Riggs, what do you think?
I think it's insanely dangerous to say that is design, like men are designed like that. I think it's insanely dangerous to say that, because just from the conversation we are having about how relationship dynamics are very different. There is, even remember the men's mental health workshop we had that time, and we were asking people to define who a man is. And then what did we say in the end? There's no one way to define a man.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now that's a contradiction by saying it's by design.
It's not a contradiction. I went ahead to try to use other males, not forget the man. Other males.
Other animal males?
Yes.
So males. So Agaku, when you say men are animals, then so women are human first before they are animals?
No. When I began, I just said I've only been a man. I've only understood my sexual expressions and urges at the point of a man.
Rick is talking about.
Yes.
I'm asking him his opinion. He's jumping on your opinion and trying to.
He's on the right track.
I know
what he's arguing is very right.
Or he's saying
he doesn't agree with the point that I've said, that men by design are meant to have more.
Yes. I don't think it's a design issue.
More than one.
I think it's very dangerous.
But polygamy is also very different, because polygamy is now the structure of keeping homes, of keeping wives and doing that. But I'm talking at the level of having more than one sexual partner. And I'm telling you this because this is what I believe. A man, he might not pursue that interest, but a man will always be yearning, will always be, what's the term?
Desiring,
lasting. Let's say lasting. A man will always find a woman to last after, even if he is in a relationship. So other factors play a part. Unaweza kuwa tu, kuna line Juliani alisema eti uko church juu huwezi afford club, right? So kuna men who are staying with one women and are thought to be very committed to the relationship, very faithful, but they just don't have the muscle to sustain a relationship outside, because usherati is also very expensive. There's the logistics that are involved. Sometimes from a personal level, you're dating, but then when you're dating, let's say you're married, all right? I have a woman in my house. The logistics of fucking another woman is now very different. It's not like when I'm single, the house is free, you can just come home. Oh, come home. There's a lot that is gonna be getting involved. Am I gonna fuck her in her house? How safe is that house? Are we gonna have have an Airbnb? How are you going to do this? So sometimes all this hesabu is what keeps a man from getting another hit. Right?
Rick, give me your opinion. You're wrapping up. Your opinion is insanely dangerous.
Rick said that thing, but again, I think Rick is speaking from the point of a feminist who feels that when we say that men,
finish.
That men are by design.
We're meeting with how many minutes? 8 is fine.
That men are by design created to have more women. Thinks that it has to be against women. No, I cannot speak. If a woman sits there and says that women are designed to have more men, I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. They know their bodies. They know what they don't get. They know how they are.
Maybe Rick wants you to say that a gag is designed to have more women.
Rick, you want me to say that?
I mean, I need to be careful with how I phrase.
You be careful,
because I need to be I want to be understood.
Yes.
I appreciate your hypothesis. It's a strong belief.
Talking about hypothesis.
It's a strong belief that men are this way, that way, that way. For me, how I see the world and my experiences working with all sorts of people, I still say I think it's insanely dangerous to say men are like this, women are like that in anything, really. There are socializations that are packed up in systems that teach us how this group of people are or should be. And many of our examples are centered on those socializations, right? We have never lived in a world where those systems don't exist. So we really don't know what it's like when that group is really free and this group is really free and these other groups are really free. We don't know what it's like. We don't know. Many of our reasonings, our examples, we draw them from the center mostly is these socializations, then we get out. Yeah? Because if we didn't live in a world where polygamy is a big conversation, monogamy is a big conversation, do we know what other ways of relationship dynamics could have existed for us as human beings? We don't know. And so my point is, I believe in polygamy, monogamy, polyamory for the people who feel it suits them and suits them at the very fundamental level that they are there in their most authentic self when they're in that kind of setup. No pressure. But again, it's these socializations that have put us in these groups that you only have to marry one wife, only one husband, only nini. It's the socializations. Maybe for, again, many other queer people, many other men, many other women, they really want to be with more than one sexual partner, but they still want to keep their main husband, their main wife. So many people in this world are like that. But those systems have put us in these groups. You have to only fit here, So for me, what I'm saying is, the more we are open about ourselves, who we are in these relationships. For example, you say, for a gag, when you're not dating, you're okay with fucking many women at the same time.
Yes.
And for you, you're saying when you're dating, you are more comfortable just fucking this one person.
Yes.
That's you, right?
Yes.
And nobody is pressurizing you. You might have desires for other women, and we often don't think of women as having desires for other men when we are dating them, and it is there. Those desires, they have them. Umetembea tao umeona dem venye rasa yake ni bigi bana. Umetani nyuma venye amekupita. hizo vitu ziko kila siku, hata sahii inafanyika tao venye tuko hapa, unajua. But venye msichana anasema you don't follow up, you don't act upon them, but others do, many others do. And even women, because me have been approached by many married women so many times for sex, even whole relationships. So go where you are your most authentic self and thrive there. So whether it's polyamory, whether it's monogamy, I don't believe in this thing of design that people are designed this way, people are designed that way. I think it's really dangerous to say that, in my opinion. Like, I really respect what Agak is saying. I think it's really dangerous because
this conversation is over, and I loved it. I loved it. I learn a lot every day.
Rix, I love the point where you're saying that.
See me back here. 2 minutes.
You can design your own thing.
Let's finish it. Yes.
As I was thinking, the camera is
people need to be designing their own things.
Yeah.
Because for example, as we know how the design of our friendship is. Yeah. We cannot
people of the internet, thank you very much for listening to this podcast.
Hakututwi aishi.
This interview, this chat and dialogue is not coming to an end. If you love this conversation, please, I would ask that you comment, tell us what you think about hookup sex. Tell us what you think about what Agag said, his stories and things like that, and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that when we have another episode, I've got lots of bold conversation coming up. And this, I think is a very bold conversation coming from these two gentlemen. So thank you very much. Until another episode, bye for now.
Two heterosexual gentlemen.
You had to say hetero.